The leaders of the G20 group of nations get down to business today. Top of the agenda is easing global economic imbalances, and that includes looking at rules and regulations for financial institutions. It's an issue that could undermine the profitability of Australia's banks, but the Prime Minister has warned the Big Four not to use that as an excuse to slug customers with higher rates and fees. Stephanie Kennedy reports.
Australia 총리입니다.
It's another red carpet day as the Prime Minister strided onto the international stage once again. The South Koreans are hosting a lineup of world leaders for this meeting of the major rich and developing nations. But ahead of the summit, Julia Gillard fired another salvo at Australia's banks, warning them that using international financial reforms at this meeting is not an excuse to raise interest rates.
Our domestic debate, however, at the moment is overshadowed by community concern and anxiety about mortgage rate increases. And as a result, the government is moving to increase competition in our banking sector. We want to better empower consumers to move away from banks when they are unhappy with their banking arrangements and believe that they are being ripped off.
Her message was carefully targeted at one audience member in particular, ANZ's CEO, the latest bank to hike rates above the official rate rise.
I understand the concerns, and I think as a consumer you always want something for a little less. I mean, I think that's just a natural, view. But I actually feel that the customers in Australia get pretty good value for the services that they have.
But the bank chief acknowledges customers simply don't agree.
I think what we haven't done very well is explain ourselves and have been as transparent as we should have been. I think people don't mind paying a fee for a service if they think that they're getting value for it.
The Prime Minister now wants to shift the focus onto international issues. The leaders will try to nut out an agreement on easing the global economic imbalances. And as part of that deal, Ms Gillard will be pressing for greater free trade and maintaining floating currencies. On the sidelines of the summit, Julia Gillard and the Russian president paved the way for sales of uranium to Russia for use in its civil nuclear power industry. Ms Gillard says the deal will help Russia reduce its greenhouse gas emissions by diversifying its energy sources and shifting away from a reliance on fossil fuels. And she added there'll be more export opportunities for Australia, and in turn that'll create jobs for Australia's uranium suppliers. Stephanie Kennedy, ABC News.